next guest made a dramatic shift from city girl to country farmer, and she's sharing her personal story to help educate kids about the value of agriculture. Becca Ferry is an ambassador for the Utah Farm Bureau. It's so great to have you, and I'm intrigued to learn your story. I know a lot of people will be as well. You did make that shift. What inspired you to do so?
Well, so I grew up in major cities, and when I met my husband out on the farm, I was under the impression we would be living in suburbia, and I was happy in suburbia until
you were fine with that.
Until he said, "Hey, I missed the farm. Let's go back." And it took me a while to get on board with what that would really mean living in a rural community, and I just love it now, and I'm happy we've done that and made our home around the farm.
Well, how has farm living shaped your family and most notably your children?
So I have 5 children, and one of their jobs on our farm where we raise Black Angus cattle is to care for the little baby calves in the spring that need extra care from their moms. And so you can see this bottle here is what we use.
It's a lot bigger than the one I have at home.
Absolutely. And those little calves need a bottle twice a day. And so my 5 kids are in charge of getting out every morning before school and then every night again feeding their calves. And we have maybe 8, 9, 10 a year that they are in charge of bottle feeding and learning that responsibility of how to take care of an animal and how to have consequences for good work and consequences if they don't do their work.
I'm curious to know, how old were your children when you went to farm life completely?
So my oldest was a 3rd grader, 8 years old, and now she's 13, and they've really come a long way in what they know on the farm and what they can intuitively guess by looking at a cow and how to take care of it and what that cow needs and what maybe they need to change in how they're taking care of that animal.
And maybe hard to say because your children were still young and growing, but have you seen any sort of shift as far as their work ethic or their work commitment?
Sure, they know that they need to finish the job, work until it's finished, and you know, that translates even at home when they're doing their bathroom jobs or when they are loading the dishwasher. They know that they've got to get that job done and that it's important to finish and finish correctly and finish well. So
part of your role as an ambassador is to help kind of make a link. So how can urban residents connect with farmers and ranchers? How can we form a better connection there?
I think you see more and more people want to know where their food comes from, how it's raised, and more farmers want to tell that story, tell how our food is raised and what choices we make on the farm and why we make them. And so you see more and more farmers on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, blogs that are out there bringing people into their farm, showing on videos or photos what it is that they do on their farm to care for the land and care for the animals, to be sustainable and have good welfare for the animals.
I have to say, I grew up in a farming community. I have a deep respect for the work that happens out on those farms. If we ourselves, though, don't live on a farm, we don't live near a farm, how can we help our children make that same connection that your children have made, the work and the, you know, farm to food table sort of connection?
There's lots of ways, and certainly bringing them out to the farm. The Utah Farm Bureau hosts farm field days for kids throughout the state. We come into classes and in schools. We're happy to always share that message.
In fact, you say this bottle's a big hit in the classrooms.
Absolutely. But just the simple fact of if you can grow some vegetables in your garden, or if you're taking care of an animal at your own house, a pet, I feel like that's part of the same thing that we're doing. And to, when you go to the grocery store, you know, talk about how you have that connection to the work that maybe you guys did at your own home, what that means, what a farmer might have done.
Even just through conversation. I know you do offer a book too that parents can, a resource parents can reach for to help initiate that.
Yeah, so we're excited to give out 5 free copies of a book. It's back to school time. We're making lunches, and this book is about how food gets into the lunchbox. How'd that get in my lunchbox? And it's a fun book that shows peanut butter sandwiches, cookies, juice, milk, where those things all come from.
How can we enter to win a copy?
Go to the Utah Farm Bureau website, utahfarmbureau.org, and there will be a link there to win it.
Awesome. Becca, thank you so much. Fun to hear your story and fun to help get that advice on how we can bridge that gap and make that connection in our own homes. So we appreciate it.